Hi there guys, my name's Danny and welcome to what I think is part 5 of Do I Even Remember My Own Title with My Memory Disability? I think it's Disabled Dude Becoming Homeless or something like that, part 5. I'll keep it very short and try and keep you guys entertained, and just a quick reminder, if you're the first person new to watching these videos, this video will not be able to make any form of sense to you. The combination of my severe short-term memory, rambling and going in circles, of the struggles of my daily life, like putting the sentence together just then, short-term memory problems. Yeah, don't bother with me trying to explain. Just go back to the beginning, click on part 1, otherwise none of this is going to make any sense to you. So many crazy things happen to me every single day that I don't even have enough time to show it to you. So a lot of these videos have to be very spontaneous, like right now. So anyways, I've woken up. It's day 3 living in a shithole. And yes, I know I should be thankful for people that are compared to people that are homeless, but I do a lot of volunteer work with people that are homeless, and I know that for different people's situations, they're living in Australia, they're entitled to different amounts and should be living in different minimum standard ways. And although this is living tremendously better than some people like the homeless people that I help, they are homeless for different forms of reasons, and they need to help themselves receiving their own forms of help. For what forms of help I know I'm entitled to, this isn't where I should be. So I won't complain about it, but you'll see probably by the time I get up to like part 30 in these videos, I'm probably going to have received help from NDIS to regain enough of my rights to be living somewhere a lot nicer than this. Let's see. If he's wrong, it'll be entertaining to watch this guy fail. Anyway, so I wake up in the morning today and I thought, you got to be productive, clean yourself up and have a shower. Go dig for all these cardboard boxes of this emergency house move that you had to do, because the guy I was living with under his house, he illegally took advantage of my intellectual disability to illegally evict me in a way that's quite extreme. And no matter any personal opinion or actions I have about that, doesn't matter. My NDIS workers are disgusted at the guy's actions, and they're taking actions about him, even talking about asking him to have to pay money in forms of damages for what inconvenience he's caused to not just me, but for many other people, like government service workers, and hiring expensive removal vans for not 1 but 3 days, which I feel sorry for taxpayers. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. I'll just show you something very quickly. Along with not even having can't think of the word for it, the mental strength to care about even setting up my bedroom because of how tired I am over what's happened to me over the last few days. I'm very fortunate in having a suggestively expensive gigantic TV to set up and other stuff I won't talk about because you know it's not appropriate. But compared to the other things I'm going through in my life, things like setting up this big TV just really don't mean anything to me. I'm just kind of sitting back and watching the extreme situation I've fallen into, and I'm watching what the other guys around me and people that have to write government reports because I have a disability, what's going to happen? What are they going to do? Because I think they care for, I was going to say more about me than myself, but no. I think it's more at this point, what's happened to me falling in the hole, that people are more worried about someone getting in trouble and being held responsible for this guy's suggestive problems in his life and where he's fallen to. I think others are more worried about them being held responsible than assisting me in any way. So they're kind of trying to assist me by cleaning me up, if you get the idea. So they can't say the dude with disability ended up living in such a shit way. They're trying to pass on the responsibilities, and then when they're scared that doesn't work, they're making my life better to make themselves look better, is a better way of explaining it. Lying in bed with practically no form of power or anything I can do and fuck around with a Rubik's Cube is one of the only things I got to do at the moment. I'll show you the funny problem I had this morning when I had my first shower at this new address. That's why my hair's still wet. So anyways, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but water has come all over the floor. And there's still a little bit of a swimming pool going in here. And it wasn't able to drain out of the bathtub or the floor. So it's not the end of the world. And the skylight's so stupid. Look at this. They didn't even put a cover on the skylight. So it's just breathing from outside air. I'm all good, whatever. But if you're going to get another guy from NDIS that suggestively needs to be the second person living in this house with me, and he needs a nurse like they're providing for me for 4 hours a day for suggested heavy needs of someone with a disability, I don't think that disabled guy's really going to be able to use your shower too well. Not with all the water pooling everywhere, and he's not going to be able to get to sleep at night with this shit house breathing freezing cold air in winter. This is my mountain of belongings, and you can see the government has instantly jumped in and bought some furniture. Like I think this is a sofa set up, and even a really nice, wow, TV. Is that a TV cabinet? Is that a TV cabinet? But anyways, I don't care. Like I have my previous partner taken all my money away from me and my son. I can't explain it. I kind of don't care anymore. I kind of think it's more funny when people ask me the questions and I tell them the truths, and they're so shocked at how much I've been taken advantage of by people like my previous partner doing pretty much illegal things and keeping my son and all my money and so on, and not giving me any of my own rights to our assets of our 8-year relationship and marriage. I'm just like, whatever. I'll just keep living like this, and you guys keep writing your reports, and when you find out the answers for yourselves, tell me what I'm entitled to and what you wish to give back to me. In this bedroom, you can see I have so many paintings that I need storage shelves, because that's kind of like my hobby job I was developing. If I couldn't have a normal job given to me working a basic job 9 to 5 because I'm discriminated against with my disability label of the word epilepsy, and an average employer being too scared my entire life to ever hire someone to even do a shit job if they have the word epilepsy next to their name. I even had a guy at Ingham's Chicken Factory that I went for the job at Ingham's Chicken Factory years ago. It was a really shit, laughable joke, but I knew I had to try and I had to start somewhere. So I applied for the world's shittiest job at Ingham Chicken Factory. And the guy pretty much told me, like, this job is so shit, just like working at Domino's, and they did the same thing at Domino's. They both told me, years apart from one another, with how I'm labelled with disability, once at Domino's, once at Ingham's Chicken Factory. You start tomorrow, congratulations, you're a young male, you can have the job. Come to this address tomorrow, this date and time, grab your uniform, and you start working immediately. But then both of them, years apart from one another, and I failed many times from discrimination, they did the exact same thing. As soon as they heard me mention the word epilepsy or even past medical history and controlled situation, they freaked out and they're like, no, sorry, you can't work at Domino's after all. And no, sorry, you can't work at Ingham's Chicken Factory doing a shit job. Because if we hear the word epilepsy, we're just scared that you'll have a seizure stereotypically because we're weak-minded idiots. You'll fall onto the floor shaking and a forklift or a truck will run you over and they'll sue us for your death and suggestions of workplace safety. And as much as I'd like to think I'm full of shit and these are just one-off examples, even just while I'm standing here randomly trying to think of things to talk about, the next one pops back in. That just recently, after all these two different examples told years apart from one another, I then think of the third example where recently I went to apply for a shit job at Australian Post Office, and it wasn't even a normal job sorting out parcels. It was like a shit job at Australia Post, and that was one of those 4-month-long season workers when the post office is just so busy for the last couple of months of the year with things like Christmas, New Year's Eve and Easter and so on, and with people buying presents for each other, Australia Post has to go flat out in hiring on the spot spontaneously brand new staff members for the peak season, and you only work there for a couple of months and they tell you that and then you lose your job. I applied for that, and the same as always, they said you can have the job, you start instantly tomorrow. But they said, we just want you to go have a detailed medical assessment first before you begin working for us. So again, same as always. As soon as I went for that medical test, I'm 6'1", I'm strong, I can do this, I can do that. Smart, fit, tough. Rock climbing mountains is my favorite hobby. I'm a professional rock climber. But I'm not good enough to work at Australia Post when they hear the word epilepsy in past 20-year-old medical history reports. So they were eager to hire me 1 second, but then they rang up the next and said, sorry, but we pretty much saw the E word, so we're not going to touch you. Goodbye. Disgustingly outrageous. So anyway, guys, coming to my conclusion, and here's one more thing. See this? My self-esteem was so low at one point, and people stereotyping me, that I just did this whole kind of like fuck you thing to judgmental people. And with the control of my life and money they think I don't have, I did it mainly for me and my son. I went out into the city and I was just acting like this blonde woman from Clueless 17, and I just marched straight into an expensive suit store. And I said to him, I'm in a super hurry. I've got to be somewhere in 40 minutes. I'm going to buy something. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to wear it. And I'm going to keep my original clothes in a backpack and head off. I need to go somewhere for an appointment that's very important. And it's about selling my paintings recently. So I bought this expensive outfit in like 22 minutes, the whole thing, the shoes, the socks, the shirt. Decided not to get a tie, the suit. It's very, very nice. And this whole thing cost more than $600 and something. It was in the 700s. And half of me thinks it's a stupid waste of money. The other half says, no, I guess sometimes you got to buy back a bit of your dignity and prove yourself. So I guess I'll keep this suit for when I hopefully be able to start selling my paintings soon. Video is already becoming a bit long. People's attention span, even if my video is interesting, is about a maximum of 8 minutes these days. So hopefully you can understand and make out some of my paintings. There's like a South Australian Murray River lake photograph with a dead tree lying in the middle. It's a two-piece painting, but the other piece is missing. This is from the video game The Last of Us. They bring back a sequel, and I haven't even played the sequel, but this is where the young girl that's turned into a young woman is riding a horse around a desecrated city that's come to an end because of the zombie apocalypse. And this picture here, this is the other half, the left-hand side of the painting I was just showing you. And you can see a crushed up old car abandoned there, rusting on one side, and the city buildings and the clouds in the background. I did this painting for my church, and this is half again, because I do big paintings. They're usually in two pieces. And this bigger painting, upside down, of course, from your perspective, this is the Final Supper with Jesus there. I'm not religious, but I do have a lot of, sorry, I feel like a chick. I do have a lot of friends that like going to church, so I mainly did the painting more for the church than for myself in any way. Here's another half of that Murray River thing I was just showing you. The sunset. And behind me here is a picture of my beautiful son. It looks like a photograph. I think this one's excellent. The people I'm interested in selling my paintings to and that have taken me on, they have told me they really like that one, surprisingly. I wasn't going to show it to them. I thought it was too personal, a bit nerdy, showing a picture of my son. I thought I'd look a bit amateur, but they like it. And this painting here is of a girl I dated about, I'm getting old. I think this is about 18 years ago. I dated this beautiful Vietnamese girl. And shockingly, although the person in this picture looks incredibly young, like a child or a teenager, no, the beautiful Vietnamese girl in that picture, she's actually, in that time, 24 or 26 years old, and she was older than myself. Her name was a bit strange. Her name was Me, spelt M-Y, and her last name, I don't even know if I should tell you, was Tran. So I'm not even going to say that. You get the idea why that doesn't sound too good. I remember in a Coles shopping centre one time, sorry if I've changed subjects a bit, guys, but it's a funny story. And I've got my hair tie after getting out the shower. I don't normally look like this, like someone from the free boy band Hanson. Just finishing off with a positive thing. I was going around the Coles shopping centre one time at the shit suburb of Elizabeth. And I had to ask her for, like, do we get this item? So I yelled out to her, me, down the end of aisle 6. And these boyfriend and girlfriend couple turn around and they're like, yeah? I'm like, and then they look at me and I'm like, oh, no, not me. I meant her. Her name is me. When I'm going like this, me, that's actually me trying to get eye contact with my girlfriend down the end of aisle 6. Sorry about that, I'm not mentally insane. That's my girlfriend's name. So that's a funny way to end this video. It's already gone much longer than I expected. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with the funny things that happen to me. And hopefully, if you just watch these videos back at the beginning, you have some point in understanding and being interested in watching these videos. If you've only just watched this one, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to expose the hardship in life that people can go through when they become homeless, especially people with intellectual disability like myself, and usually more severe than myself. And some things are really good and some things are disgusting. The emergency accommodation that they're providing me with, yeah, okay, sure. I feel sorry for the homeless woman, the mum, that may not be receiving help, that's sleeping in a car tonight with possibly 4 children. She unquestionably is in much more need than myself and doing things much worse. But I still think at the same time, at my age, 41, and how I've lived, I'm just entitled to sorry, now you know it's live. I'm entitled to a tremendous amount more that I've been able to live lately. And things like not even being able to see my child for 2 years is just from people abusing tremendously, breaking laws, abusing my rights, and taking advantage of me not being able to reply to illegal acts committed against myself with paperwork I can't respond to. And the crazy people don't, want to buy expensive suits and get a job in becoming a professional artist. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but you somehow hung around to the end of this video, I would very strongly recommend to you to go back to the beginning, part 1. Otherwise, none of these videos are expected to make any sense. I'm just kind of unedited because I'm as close to homeless as it gets without being homeless. I can't use my computer. I can't do nearly anything. I don't even have toilet paper in the house anymore. And I know your answer is like, go out and get some, but what about the car? What about the money? What about the petrol? What about getting used to the new place I live in? What about all the phone calls I got to receive? What about my severe, extreme, short-term memory disability from cutting my brain up in the side of my head with that line you can see? There's a lot of difficult things for me to do at the moment, and I need to take them really one step at a time, because people like me with extreme memory problems, they need to learn to live in repetitive cycles, otherwise they can't mentally handle the amount of tasks in their head. And that's pretty much why I'm not even able to look after myself very well at the moment, and why there's support care workers coming around my house for 4 hours a day that I'm told not to. I want to look after myself because it's just too much to focus upon. My stalker, I'm even that popular, I'm meant to have a stalker. So for the last nearly 10 years now, I've got this stalker guy called Adam Eddington. He'll practically ejaculate when he watches this video and hears me say his name. He loves it. He loves the attention. Even the stalker, in just 2 or 3 days of me changing from my previous address, he's probably already aware of where I live on Google Maps. He's that psychotic. He has already posted comments with many different fake profiles on my videos displaying my vlogs that I'm doing. And I've got my NDIS support workers wanting to waste more and more time and more taxpayer money to deal with that freak. And they want me to go to Adelaide Magistrates Court tomorrow on Monday to collect and fill out paperwork to not create a restraining order, but to reactivate this guy's stalker's restraining order. In the past, I had my wife able to help me fill out that paperwork because of my disability. I couldn't do it myself, and it very quickly succeeded. And she did an amazing job, and the stalker was taken care of. But after 1.5 years, and me and my wife become separate, and then I have to do the restraining order papers by myself, they kind of fell apart. So they disactivated, they expired or something, I don't know. And I'm not joking, 3.5 hours after 1.5 years of the stalker freak having a restraining order, bang, he's back on my mobile phone calling me, harassing me. And he already, though I've only lived in this house becoming homeless with emergency accommodation for 3 days, the stalker is such a freak. He's already aware I'm living here. He already knows my address. He's already watched these videos. He'll watch this video within 4 or 20 minutes after I post this video, and the next one, and the next one. And I do think that it's hard for me to explain to you guys what my point of this whole thing is. I'm not so much whinging looking for attention. I just think that after I've learned to deal with all this crap and so much happened to myself, I want to kind of sacrifice all my privacy and dignity by putting this unedited and my double chin and stuff on YouTube. And I just want you guys, and looking like someone from Hanson with not even putting up my hair tie, because I just got out of the shower and this goddamn shower can't even drain its water properly. And the fan in there doesn't even work, and the thing can't even drain its water properly. I just kind of want to show this to you guys so you understand there's a lot of people out there doing it tough, and maybe we need to help people that are homeless and people with disability a fair bit more with the taxpayers' money. And this NDIS thing definitely needs a massive clean up. And I think there's a lot of wasted funds coming to me at the moment, helping me with the not correct things. I'm surprised someone hasn't knocked on my door as an NDIS worker to help me out. I'm just going to inform the NDIS worker not to so much come to my house and help me buy toilet paper and wipe my ass, but, you know, maybe just fix that hole that's overflowing. And personally, I don't even care. I find it funny after all the stress I'm going through things in life. I find the shower not draining someone else's funny responsibility and not mine, and it doesn't bother me. But if this stereotypical guy that is a secondary tenant that's meant to move into this house who has intellectual disability and needs a support worker, if he turns up, this house is not good enough. And they're going to realize that quickly, and they're going to need to start fixing things. So I'm just going to chill out, relax. I'm just going to get my lazy survival food. This is my version of Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls will dig a hole under a tree and drink some muddy water. Me, I'll walk down to the street and to the nearest Coles and get some instant coffee and get high on that. That's my form of drug and alcohol abuse, instant coffee. And if I can post this video and have enough time to have a drink of water, hydrate myself, have a shit with some toilet paper and think clearly, I might go back into this room and continue one of the two paintings that I'm currently working on. This one, and the one behind it is this ugly dude self-portrait. See you guys, alright? Stay tuned. This is all unplanned, unrehearsed, it's very spontaneous. When I get off the phone, I'm immediately going to inform the NDIS that the shower doesn't drain. I'm going to tell them it's okay, I don't care about me, but if you want to fix it for the next disabled guy that's meant to turn up to this emergency accommodation house, you might want to get a move on quickly. Especially if he's fat and needs help getting out of the bathtub. Having a swimming pool on the floor without a safety rail probably isn't a good start. See you guys, stay strong. I'm all good. I'm just exposing the crap going on in society. And I hope you understand my point I'm trying to get across, that with my short-term memory that's quite severe disability, I'm not sure if I'm really explaining to you guys what I'm trying to get across. Post a comment down below if you understand what my video is about and why I'm doing it. See ya.